Today we're going to be talking about standing on business, featuring Dr. Maliah. My name's Kobe LaCour.
My name is Kamryn Gibson.
And I'm Samir Vaidya,
Yes.
the Dean of the Business School.
Awesome. Okay, so honestly, let's start with your current position right now. Tell us about your current position at Wesleyan, what you do for the school, and how you just impact the place.
Sure. So the current position is the Dean of the Business School. The Dean is basically responsible to make sure that the school is running effectively, make sure that we are offering the right programs, make sure we have the right type of people teaching classes, make sure we do everything we can for our students to be successful and to get a good job once they finish school. So that's really the job of the dean. But the dean's job really depends a lot on the people they surround themselves with. So I have a great team in the administrative assistants I have out there, and then my associate dean, Dr. Nichols, and then of course my faculty, right? And that faculty is really the ones that they are the ones that make the school good or not good, because they are the ones that are teaching the students. They are the ones that communicate with the students. So my job is really to make sure that everything runs smoothly, that the school has a vision, that I have some ideas that I can bring out to make the school better, and then use the faculty as as a sounding board to give them my vision, see what they feel about that, involve the students in that vision as well, involve external stakeholders in the vision. So it's really a job of running almost like a business, right? So a university is a business. So you're kind of running the business to make sure it's providing good value to the customer, which is our students.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talked a little bit about your faculty, how important they are to you, but also the students and everything else. How hands-on are you specifically in this job with the students? Like, do you communicate directly to them? Like, I know you don't teach classes.
So I don't teach classes anymore, and if I do, it's usually online. So the students I teach are the ones that I teach online, which means that they don't get to see me every twice a week, right? Like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, that kind of thing. But because we are a small school and we kind of pride ourselves on that, I'm very accessible. Like just like you guys walked in, right? I mean, all my students, they can just walk in and ask the administrative assistant that I'd like to see the dean and I have a question, and so I have made relationships with many students who just walk in and talk to me. And we also have a student leadership team, which is the leaders of all the student organizations in the school. So typically, I try to meet with them at least once a semester, just to see, get a perspective from them, what their constituents are telling them. So let's say you are the president of the accounting society. Then your constituents are telling you stuff, right? That, hey, this is working, this is not working, we would like this, we'd like that. And so I talk to that leadership team to get their sense of what their people are telling them, and what's the pulse of the school, so to speak. And I'm out here talking to students sometimes, say hi to them. There are people that sit on those tables. Usually every semester there's a group of people. It's the same people always sit out there on those couches on the table. So I will say hi to them. So I try to stay connected with the students as much as I can. But it's just not at the same level as somebody in a classroom would.
Yeah. Okay, and so we want to get to know a bit more about how you came to be the dean of the business school. Like, what was your career path to get here?
Sure.
What was your schooling like?
Sure. So I came here to the U.S. in 1991, originally from India. Came to the U.S. in 91 to get my MBA. That was my goal was to get my MBA, get into the corporate world, make lots of money. Right? That's what the goal
Every
is.
time,
yes. Right? But when I came for my MBA, I had a professor who taught me the strategic management course and the organizational behavior course, and he was really very influential. I just loved the way he interacted with the students, the way he taught us, the way he was making an impact on my friends, because everybody was just like, oh yeah, that's cool. I want to learn more about that field. I want to do well in that field. So I did work for a little while, as an operations manager in Circuit City. I worked in the Small Business Development Center, but I kept going back to I want to make an impact differently
Right.
than getting a job, going to the corporate world, doing 8 to 5. And yeah, the money I might make more money, but I might not be as satisfied as if I were a professor. So I talked to my mentor, and he said, "Oh yeah, you should do a PhD. If you want to be a professor, you need a PhD. You can't not have a PhD." So I said, "Okay." So I enrolled and got my PhD in business.
Where did you go to school?
So I went to school at University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
Okay.
It used to be UT Pan American back when I went to school. That was the name of the school.
Yeah.
And I think they had some merger with UT Brownsville and Pan American. They merged to become UT Rio Grande Valley. So I had a great experience there. I finished my PhD from there in 2000 and went up to Texas A&M Kingsville to teach as a professor. I don't know. You guys know what Kingsville is?
Actually, our head coach used to coach there for like 11 years.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you guys know it.
Yeah,
Because many times I say Kingsville, people are like, huh?
No, we hear about it all the time.
Every day.
We hear about it all the time.
So, it's near Corpus Christi. It's a nice little place. Corpus Christi was a nice city. Not bad. Yeah. But I wanted to be in a bigger metro area. Right? My wife was getting her master's at that time in computer science in Corpus Christi, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And she realized that Corpus Christi is not a place to get IT jobs.
Yes.
It's tourism and
Right.
a little bit of oil and gas and things like that, but not for IT. So we had to move to either like Dallas area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Houston area, like San Antonio, like bigger metro areas, right, to get the jobs. So I looked up job openings, and I saw Texas Wesleyan. And it was interesting because a couple of years before I looked the Texas Wesleyan posting, when I was in Kingsville, I had seen the same posting a couple of years earlier.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're still looking for the same person.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they had hired somebody from Finland the first time they did the posting.
Now, was this for the professor or for the dean position?
For the professor position. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know if that is.
It's okay.
So it was for the professor position. And that's how you start, right? So kind of, you don't get out of a PhD school and just become the dean. That just doesn't happen, right? It's kind of like, you want to start in an organization to become the CEO. You don't become just the CEO. You're going to have to start somewhere and then kind of grow. So I applied to Texas Wesleyan. I also applied to University of Houston in downtown. They have a campus in downtown Houston. And I got both the jobs. And I used to be a huge Dallas Cowboys fan.
Why used to be?
Yeah.
You are still in Dallas, sir. You have to support them, no matter how bad they are.
Well, that's the thing, right? So if you support somebody for 26 years,
That's so bad.
that's a quarter of my life, right?
Right.
Yeah. Can you imagine, you guys are not probably even 25, but imagine that.
Yeah.
26, right? 26 years old. All you have done is support them, and they still keep losing. So I'm done with them.
Yeah.
But I'll watch them. I'm still not like I hate them, but I'm just like, whatever. I mean, if they lose, I won't get my heart broken.
Right.
You live and you learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just can't say, just kind of part of life.
Right.
But anyway, so at that time I was like huge, just like fan, like crazy fanatic. Right? So I told my wife, we have the Dallas-Fort Worth area and the Houston area. And Dallas-Fort Worth is the Cowboys.
So that was your deciding factor, like,
That was-
Cowboys, we gotta go.
Yeah, that really was my design. I was like, I gotta go to this area
Right.
because it's got Cowboys.
Right.
In fact, one of the first things I did when we moved here was they were at Texas Stadium then. One of the first things I did was, we had an apartment. I had rented an apartment. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the stadium and get me a season ticket.
Oh gosh.
First thing I did was get a season ticket. Like we didn't have furniture. We didn't have much of anything.
But you had your season
I had my
pass.
season ticket.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how bad I was.
Right.
Fanatic. But then I gave up.
It's
Yes.
understandable.
Yeah, so then I loved the area. And it's just a wonderful area. And I came to the school, and we used to have a person. His name is Mac McLean. he was a professor here, and he was the dean of the school for a little while, and then he was also working in our advancement and finance office. And he passed away recently after some illness, but he was the sweetest, kindest gentleman. And that's the first person I met when I came to Wesleyan.
Right.
And I was like, man, if everybody's like him,
Yeah. It'll work.
this is going to be a nice place
Right.
for him, right? So, and of course, it was kind of like that. And I remember walking in for the interview, and I was kind of lost, and there was another finance professor who was really kind and helpful, and so everyone was super nice, super sweet. I was like, this is the kind of culture I want to be in, because I want to make a difference in lives. I don't want to be lost in a big school with, you go to UT Arlington or something, you don't get to see the dean. I mean, the dean doesn't know the students, they don't know him, I mean, it's just, or her, so it's just kind of like that. So I wanted to be in this environment. So I started as a professor here, right? I was at Kingsville as a professor, assistant professor. I came here as an associate professor, which is a promotion. And then immediately 2 years into my job here, I came here in 2004. Immediately 2 years into my job, the dean at that time said, I'm moving. So I was like, well, what happened? So, anyway, so people move, right? So that happens. So the person that was asked to be the interim dean, who's the provost right now, Dr. Quintanilla,
Right. Yes.
he asked me to be the associate dean with him. So interim associate dean. So I said, okay. So I became the interim associate dean. Then he became the permanent dean, and he made me the permanent associate dean.
Right.
So from 2006 or 7 all the way up until 2019, I was the associate dean, and he was the dean. Then he moved up to be the provost, and then I became the interim dean.
Yes.
And then he was the interim provost, I was the interim dean, and then he became the permanent provost, and eventually I became the permanent dean.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do you and him have a good relationship?
Yes.
You've
We
together.
have a great relationship. I have worked with him for almost 20 years now, right? The first couple of years, I didn't know him quite well because he was a faculty member, I was a faculty member. He was in accounting, I was in management. So, but then since we started working, I have known him really well, and we have a good relationship, and I enjoy working with him. So then I became the dean. So I've been the dean between the interim and permanent. I've been about in this position about 3.5 years now.
Nice.
That was a long answer.
Hey.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
That's a good answer. Okay, so I know you talked about how you want to make an impact on the students. You don't just want to be the dean, that mysterious guy that nobody really knows. And you want to set them up for the best position to get a good job.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the jobs within the career, because it's
Right.
business. That's everything. I guess
Yes.
essentially the world runs on that.
Yeah.
So just I don't know how we can move into this, but I guess let's talk about
Put it like as if you're talking to a future student, like that doesn't know what they want to do.
Right.
You're just kind of giving them the ins and outs of the business world
Sure.
and like how to, I guess, better navigate it from a dean's perspective.
Sure. So I tell this to everyone I meet, that it does not matter what your passion or interest is. It is highly likely that you will work in some kind of business, or you will start your own business.
Exactly.
So whatever you do, like if you're an artist, right? You paint and you want to sell the paintings as business. You're gonna have to know business. So at a minimum, I think everybody should have at least a business minor, just to understand how the business world works. Right? Just to understand basics of accounting, basics of economics.
Right.
What does demand and supply mean? Why do prices go up and down? What's marketing? What's management? Just kind of know the basic stuff in business. Just at the least you need to do that. Now, if you really have an interest in being in the business world, then you have to kind of figure out what area of business do I really have an interest in. Am I a numbers person? Which means I could be in finance, investment banking, something like that, data analytics. Am I a creative person? I can be like you guys, marketing, mass communication, communications, PR, marketing, advertising, those kinds of areas. Or do I not know exactly what I want to do right now, which means I could be a general business major. I can do all kinds of business things, kind of learn a little bit about everything, and then decide eventually what I want to do with my life. I can get a job as an analyst or a store manager or a manager and trainee or an entry level person in any kind of business, and then kind of figure out my way. Right? And then you also have the accounting field, which many people tend to confuse with being very numbers oriented. It's not, you don't really need to be good at math to be an accountant, right? Because accounting, what mostly they do is they add numbers, subtract numbers, multiply numbers, and divide numbers. That's it. It's not like statistics or calculus. It's just simple math, simple arithmetic. It's just you need to know how to apply the rules. So you need to know what to add and what to subtract. Because if you mess that up, if you add something that's supposed to be subtracted, then you have completely messed up the business, right? So accounting is a field for people who like to be kind of organized and like to think in a straightforward fashion and linear kind of logic. So there are business has so many different avenues for people to do. I mean, you can, like I said, you can be an artist, you can be a musician. You still need to know business. So a business degree is never going to go waste. I'm not saying any degree goes waste, right? No degree will go waste. But a business degree, if you list all of them, I think that's probably the one that will really be helpful for anybody in any walk of life. Not for profit. If you want to run that, it's still a business. You're going to need to know how to talk to people, how to make relationships, how to go ask for money, how to effectively use that money and show people that I'm making good use of your money and not just wasting it. So again, it's business. So from a student perspective, I would tell everyone that you need to learn something about business. So try to be in the business school, get here, maybe just take one class, maybe just take the intro to business class, and kind of see how you like it and see if that's something that you want to do, or get your minor in business if your major is something else.
Well, that was a great answer. Thank you.
I will say I'm a business minor.
Good. That's great.
Thank you for that intel. It was interesting reading it.
Yeah, I tried. I really did. I couldn't get accounting.
It's hard.
He was saying accounting's not hard math. I'm like, gosh, I really can't do
that.
That
Adding and subtracting really gets to you.
But it was the as soon as if you make a minor mistake, the whole thing is messed up.
And that's what the difficult thing was, right? Like you needed to know which numbers to add.
Exactly.
So you have a question with a lot of words in it and a lot of numbers in it, and a table with numbers in it. You just need to figure out, okay, I need to take this one and add this one to it. And that's it's all rules based, right? Like there's rules that this needs to be added, this goes on this side, this goes on this side. So that's what accounting is. I used to be an accountant before I became management.
Yeah, my best friend, she has a finance degree, and I was like, I'm proud of you because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Excel is hard.
Excel is hard.
It's just an app, so no.
But thank you so much for letting us interview you. It was really great getting to hear from you.
Yeah.
Again, I am Kamryn Gibson.
I'm Maliah, LaCour.
Okay. I'm Samir Baidia.
And this was Standing on Business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kamryn Gibson. I'm here with
Peyton Foster
to ask her some questions about the Dean, Dr. Vidya. So, Peyton, what was your experience, or just what is your overall experience with the Dean so far this year?
He was a huge help for me with the problems that I went to him for. And he's super understanding. More like people think when you go to the Dean that it's a scary, but he was his personality was just very easy to talk to.
Well, that's great. And how has he impacted your time at the business school?
He's made business easier. He's helped me with certain classes that I should take, and his opinion on certain classes or professors. So just helping me with my pathway.
Dr. Vidya talked to us a lot about how a lot of people should at least get a couple of courses in business just to better understand it, because regardless of what you do, you're probably going to have some sort of business in your profession. Mm-hmm. So what made you choose business?
I just feel like it's a wide, a variety of things. With the business degree, there is so much that you can do with it. Like you said, I feel like business is in any type of job line you decide to go in. But mostly because I feel like with me, I'm very good with people. So just being able to talk business with anybody, that can go into many professions.
How do I put this? Yeah, so when we were talking with the dean, he did mention a lot of stuff like that about how business can go into a lot of avenues, and it was really easy to, kind of get a conversation out of him and get the interview. So I want to know, was it easy for you as a student of the School of Business to get in contact with the dean?
Yes, when I had first emailed him trying to get a meeting, I would think that, he'd be jam-packed and would take a couple days to respond. But he actually got right back in contact with me that day, and we had a meeting the next day. And then our follow-up meeting was a week later. So time-wise, it was a very good timeline.
Well, that's sounds sort of like the opposite of what you would hear when someone says, I want to go talk to the dean, or I set up a meeting with the dean. So for the other students that are thinking that it's probably a lot more difficult to get in contact with him, what would you tell them, when approaching that conversation?
Just to always shoot an email. I feel like with him, like I said, he's very understandable. His personality is really opening. He's always down to talk, and he's super helpful. So an email, just or even through Teams or however it works, just to get in contact. And I feel like he's super helpful.
Okay, thank you, Peyton.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Hi, my name is Kobe LaCour, and today I'm here with
Jaylene Rivera.
So, hello, Jaylene, first
Hi.
of all. So, hi. So, you're a finance major, and so that's in the School of Business.
Yes.
So, first of all, why did you choose finance?
I chose finance because I really like math and I enjoy math, but I also know that business is very broad and can get you a lot of different careers, and so I wanted to explore that.
Okay, so when choosing finance or in the business school, you just knew that you could kind of go into anything.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas in what you want to go into?
I was thinking maybe investments, maybe even financial analysts for a company somewhere in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the dean of your business school, his name is Dr. Vadia. Are you familiar with him?
I've seen him around, yes. We haven't spoken, but he seems very nice and very helpful to many other students that he's interacted with. I just haven't met him personally.
Okay. What grade are you classified?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior? Okay, so how long have you been at Texas Wesleyan?
I just got here summer of 2023, so I've only been here, this is my second semester.
All right, and how do you like it so far? What is your experience at the business school at Tex West so far?
It's very nice. I think the professors are very nice. They're very helpful, very thorough. They do their job very well. And I would say that they really do want to educate you and teach you a lot about business. And they definitely try to hit every detail that you possibly can. So it's been very nice. They definitely have a strong business building here.
That's nice. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. Once again, I'm Maliah LaCour.
Jaylene Rivera.
And yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me, Maliah LaCour, and Kamryn Gibson on the Standing on Business podcast. I want to apologize for the bad audio in the beginning. That's why you do sound checks. It's very important, guys. Towards the end, the audio got a little bit better as we moved into our last interview. Once again, this was Standing on Business, and thank you.